talk just a little bit about stress. Now, when most people think about stress as the word, it just creates stress. Well, you have stress in relationships, you have stress in your business, in your job, you have stress due to the emotions in the family. And what we're going to be talking about right now is just reducing that stress. So let's just first define what stress is. It's pretty easy. It is a emotion or a belief that you must perform under specific guidelines, deadlines, and understand that stress comes from without you, not from within you. With that one understanding, you should automatically feel so much better. Now, when we talk about overwhelmment, now that's when we do it to ourselves. That's when we take on the burdens of another person's emotions, the relationship, the financial part of it, and we get involved in the muck and the mire. And being overwhelmed is not what we're talking about today. So we are also not going to be talking about trauma, because trauma is not stress. Trauma is a reaction to an event, and we'll deal with that a little bit later. But I want you to understand that in this particular session, we're going to be talking more about a cure, not Band-Aids. So one of the Band-Aids is breathing. Now, I don't want you to be doing that in front of the person that you're stressing over, because that will typically look like, and that won't go over well because they're going to kind of perceive that as rather aggressive. So taking a walk outside, listening to music, doing meditation, doing something like get a massage, those all are great ways to help deal with the stress, but it doesn't get rid of the stress. It doesn't cure the stress. And that's what I want to talk about. The holistic way. It's been around a long time, the little yellow pill that the Rolling Stones talks about. And we want to be able to develop holistic techniques, and this is for male and females, that are actually going to cure the stress. So I'm sure you noticed the boxes in the back here. I'm under a tremendous amount of deadlines. I have expectations that are going on of performance, of making sure that things get done. And again, as I mentioned yesterday, I'm not stressing too much because, number one, I put it into perspective. This is the cure, putting the stress into perspective. Nobody's going to die if I don't hit this deadline. All it's going to do is just cost more money. I'm pretty good at making money. I'm pretty good at creating money. So I'm not too stressed about money. And money can't stress you. That's overwhelming. That's trauma. That's something else. All right. So when we think about stress, I've already mentioned it's somebody else putting it on us. It's from outside putting it on us. So what has to happen? Well, good communication. If we are able to say to the person that we are getting the stress from, is there another way to do this? Is there another method? Can we extend the deadline? Can we be a little bit more creative in the tasks and the steps that need to be done? Can we shift the burden to a group of people rather than just to one person? So good communication sets up for success. Now, one of the things about stress is that you've got these wonderful deadlines, all right, and you have these performance and expectations. Let's talk about the contract. Now, we all know that if you've read the book, The 5 Languages of Love, there are unwritten contracts in marriages and relationships. Those unwritten contracts create stress within the marriage because they're not performing. And what that means is that you've got to talk about those expectations and alleviate the places where the partnership, the partner, the people in that relationship are expected to sign or perform underneath a unwritten contract that is placed on them from an outside source that has no real bearing. So again, great communication. The next thing is boundaries. We've got to be able to set boundaries. That in itself is going to reduce your stress tremendously. By the word no. If you can set a boundary by saying no, that in itself is going to reduce your stress so much. And I can just hear it right now. You're yelling at the monitor, and you're saying, or you're yelling at your phone. I can't say no. Yeah, you can. You're going to have to suffer some consequences, but let me ask you a question. Heart attack, heart disease, mental breakdown, the cost of all of the stress that is in your body to your body, your shortness of your life. Which one's more important? No, or dying early? So we want to be able to really look at what is the factors in our stress and start implementing some of the things that I just mentioned. Communication, boundaries, saying no, doing some releases as far as breathing and meditation and getting a massage. And we need to look at understanding in that communication the needs, the wants, and desires of the other person. So I look forward to you picking out some of the things that I mentioned and actually implementing them, because otherwise you've just wasted a few minutes of your life listening to ways about how to increase your performance, have a better life, be able to cut down on the self-medication, the prescription drugs, and be able to get on with your life in a pleasant and more congenial way. Well, I want to thank you for spending the time with me. You have a great day.